After the failure of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Mustafa Akkad decided to bring the franchise back to basics. Since audiences didn't like the anthology route, what did Mustafa Akkad do? Why, bring back Michael, of course. Because audiences just want to see the same thing done over and over and over again. So now we have him back in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 4 takes place 10 years after the night Michael came home in 1978. Michael somehow survived his burning by Dr. Loomis at the end of Halloween 2 and has been in a coma ever since. However, he awakens from his coma when he discovers he has an 8-year-old niece named Jamie, so he returns to Haddonfield to kill her. And Dr. Loomis, who also survived the fire, also returns to Haddonfield to stop Michael once and for all with the help of the townspeople. In my Halloween 3 review, I stated I would have liked to see the series go with the anthology route. However, with that being said, Halloween 4 is actually my favorite sequel. I've loved this movie since I first saw it as a kid, and I still love it as an adult. Now, when I describe the premise of this movie, you could probably tell it's very similar to the original. Michael coming home, wreaking havoc, and trying to kill a member of his family. But there are elements to this movie that don't make it a carbon copy of the original, mainly the characters. With Laurie Strode gone, Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris, is now the main protagonist. For her age, Danielle Harris does an amazing job conveying the trauma and the fear she has of Michael being her uncle, and you feel sorry for her. Even though she has never met Michael, you can tell the fear she has of him. This goes without saying, of course, but Donald Pleasence once again crushes it as Dr. Loomis. His performance may come off as exhausted, but honestly, I buy it. You know, he's been hunting after Michael for 10 years, so it makes sense that he would be tired. But just because he's tired doesn't mean he is not determined to stop Michael's rampage once again. Ellie Cornell is very likable as Jamie's foster sister Rachel. Even though they are not blood related, she is Jamie's big sister and will do anything to protect her. And it's just awesome seeing her go up against Michael. The rest of the cast does a pretty good job too, including Bo Starr, who does a great job playing Sheriff Meeker, and he's just as likable of a character as Sheriff Brackett. Despite there being a lot more kills and blood than in the first movie, the tone and the atmosphere is still there. There are plenty of scenes that let the characters breathe and develop them, which I always appreciate, because sometimes you'll never know where Michael will pop up or where he's hiding. Like with the first movie, there are so many memorable scenes that make this movie as great as it is. For starters, the chilling title sequence of this movie. It's just shots of a farm decorated for Halloween. It's simple, and the fact there is no music makes it a lot more effective and memorable. Also, this ghost decoration really looks pretty similar to Michael's mask. I don't know if that was intentional or just a coincidence. Either way, it's pretty cool. I love the scene with Loomis and Michael in the gas station. Loomis is offering himself as a sacrifice to Michael so he can leave Haddonfield in peace. It's just such brilliant acting by Donald Pleasence. It just gives me chills every time. I love when all the characters are stuck in Sheriff Meeker's house during a power outage caused by Michael. A lot of these characters don't like each other, but they all share one thing in common. They are all scared. And while they talk, you're just appreciating the character development and you were just anticipating where Michael might pop up. The best scene, however, is when Loomis hitches a ride with the drunk Reverend. You see, these two have something in common. They are both hunting evil in their own way. What makes this scene great is Loomis is usually the one giving the speeches, but this one, he's doing the listening and the Reverend is giving the speech. It's just such an amazing scene. I love it more and more with each viewing of this movie. Halloween 4 also does a great job showing the effects that Michael's crimes had on Haddonfield. When the people realize that Michael has returned, a lynch mob forms to go hunt him down. It sucks this plot point was later stolen and used in Halloween Kills. Oh man, Halloween Kills, that's another one I'm not looking forward to. The kills in this movie done by Michael are brutal, such as when Michael kills the power station worker and fries him to death, causing the power outage. When Michael presses his thumbs into Brady's head and crushes his skull. Not gonna lie, this feels more like a Jason Voorhees kill than a Michael Myers kill, but still, this is pretty fucking cool. And of course, Halloween 4 features my favorite kill in the entire franchise. I'm of course talking about the scene where Michael impales Sheriff Meeker's daughter into the wall with a shotgun. No kill in this franchise ever topped this kill. It's just awesome. Now, I want to talk about Michael in this movie. For one, Michael's look. Now, my biggest issue with his look isn't the mask. I honestly like the way the mask looks in this movie. It looks like a cheap mask you might find in a drugstore. Yes, the hair is all slicked back and it's way too white. However, you never see Michael's eyes in this movie, and it works because Michael is supposed to have the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. My problem with his look is he's wearing shoulder pads. Did they do this to make him look intimidating? well, it doesn't work. He ends up looking more like a hunchback or a football player. There's also a weird goof where Michael has blonde hair as he's throwing Loomis out of the window. Looks like Ben Tramer is back from the dead, ladies and gentlemen. But that still doesn't change the fact that despite the goofy look, George P. Wilbur is still a pretty intimidating Michael. Now it's time to talk about the ending of this movie. So if you haven't seen Halloween 4, spoiler warning. Jamie and Rachel are found by the lynch mob and the police. They go escort the two girls to safety, but Michael is hiding underneath the truck and kills 3 of the men. With the driver of the truck dead, Rachel takes the wheel. She successfully throws him off the truck and rams him with it. And this sends him flying into a ditch near an abandoned mine shaft. Meeker, Loomis, the lynch mob, and the police all show up just in time. Jamie walks out of the truck and touches Michael's hand, and he slowly rises, and then he is shot to death and falls down the mine shaft. The girls are then escorted home and everything seems to be back to normal. But wait, whose POV is that? What's happening? Holy shit, Jamie killed her foster mom. What the hell, man? Loomis starts screaming like a maniac and everyone looks on in horror. The evil was passed on to Jamie. She has now inherited her uncle's murderous ways. A great ending to a great movie. In conclusion, I can barely find a flaw in Halloween 4. It is a great film and is easily the best sequel in this franchise. You should absolutely give Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers a watch. Because unfortunately, after this movie, it was all downhill from here. Final rating, 5 out of 5.